Janssen is keeping for the moment the position. But there are some drivers. Oh my God, there was an attempt of overtake between turn 10 and 11. It would be a very risky move. There are like 10 drivers that are fighting for the position, and it's almost one corner remaining. Checker flag is on. Janssen wins. McLaughlin second at the photo finish. Super close finish for the two drivers. Koptiev ends up in P3. Weiler P4. And then the rest of the field. What a race. What a magnificent race. Really well done to all the drivers until now. E per il pubblico italiano, dopo aver visto una gara fantastica del T4 Junior, adesso avrà il via la categoria T4 Master. 10 giri di gara. Staremo a vedere quello che sarà l'evolversi della situazione con i piloti che si daranno battaglia per questi 10 giri. Ma che bella gara che abbiamo visto comunque con il gruppo T4 Junior, con Janssen che si è portato a casa la vittoria al photo finish praticamente. Non era certo fino all'ultimo metro di chi potesse portarsi a casa la vittoria di questa Hit 1. Quindi veramente tantissimo spettacolo in quel del South Garda Karting. Upcoming next, it will be the T4 Master with 10 laps race. It will begin in a few minutes. for the T4 Master Heat 1. I remind you, it's a 10 laps race. Kart number 310 will start from the pole position. The English driver Alcock, followed by Baldon, then Di Galante for the top three after the qualifying session. Now the drivers are getting ready for the start of this race. They're now getting aligned, getting ready for the start. And we go green, let's go! Drivers need to stay clean in the opening lap and choose their moves carefully for the rest of the race, because every mistake can be a huge problem for the race pace and the final result. Cars are now flying through the chicane of turn 10 and 11. We see in the midfield some battles or some overtakes. For the moment, the first 8 drivers keep their positions. So the top 3 for this moment is still Alcock, Baldon and Di Galante. On the back of the field we see some battles or some switch off the line to try to get the position. Di Galante has gained the position and is now in P2. Alcock, Di Galante, Baldon. That's the top 3. Then we have Cappelletti, Dizioli, Honsra, Pedrana. Then Moi, Manali and Cavalieri to complete the top 10. We see some slight bumping into the Meccanici turn. The race for the moment seems to be not that exciting just because the drivers are trying to... Let's see. I have to say the opposite because I just saw on the start-finish line some battle in the midfield. And then we have the battle for P2 and P3. Then we have an overtake between kart number 318 and 328 on the back of the field. With Ziliani taking the position from the car number 322. Alcock still in P1, Di Galante still in P2. The top 6 maintain their positions. In the meanwhile, I see a battle between car number 328 and 322. There's a three-way battle in the midfield. The top 3 is trying to pull away from the rest of the field. We are halfway through this race. Dizioli gained the position against Cappelletti. Dizioli is now P4. Cappelletti P5. Then we have Honstra and Moi, then Pedrana. Prandi in P9 and Cavalieri to complete the top 10. We see some battles between the 6th and the 12th position. It's some switchback. Nothing changes for the moment for the battle for the lead of this race. With car number 310, Alcock, still in P1. Second position for Di Galante. Third for Baldon. These three guys have created a gap around 2 seconds of advantage from P4, Dizioli, car number 315, sorry. There was an accident at the end of this lap in the third sector. Seems like it's solved. Was a car stuck out of the line. Seems like Moi, car number 320. Let's see in the meanwhile, the top 3 drivers, what are they doing? Seems like it's something that is gonna explode in some fights just right before the end of the race. End of the race that is coming. In the meanwhile, there was an overtake in the middle of the field. It's a super close battle for the 4th position. They're going 3 wide, 4 wide into the final sector of the Pettine. Oh my god, there was a super slide from a kart. A risk of incident. Somoza, Carta 326, has taken P4. Honstra, P5. Cavalieri, P6. Prandi, P7. Mazzola, P8. Manley, P9. And Norris in P10. We see some overtakes at the Meccanici for the battle for position number 4. They are very close one to the other. Baldon takes the lead. Di Galante second. Cavalieri third. There was a problem for Alcock. We're going through the last lap of this race. Car number 311 takes the lead right before the end. Di Galante second, Cavalieri third. Let's see, because it's not over. It's absolutely not over. We are preparing for the checker flag. We see an attempt to overtake. And has completed in the midfield. Everyone now is sliding. We see some battles at the end of the lap. Baldon wins. Di Galante second. Cavalieri takes P3. And a super close finish for the from P5 to P10 or P11. What a race! That was amazing to see. That was the last hit one of today. Now we will attend the second free practice for the T4 Bambino. Then we will have the second session of the hit 2 for the T4 Senior Group BC. But first, there will be the free practice for the group T4 Bambino. E per il pubblico italiano presente qui oggi, dopo una gara fantastica del gruppo T4 Master, aspettiamoci di vedere adesso la seconda sessione di prove libere del gruppo T4 Bambino. Poi dopo avremo tutto il gruppo di gare 2 della Hit 2 che partirà alle 2:20 circa, con la T4 Senior gruppo B e C, sempre 10 giri di gara. in the meanwhile that we see the Tifo Bambino going through their free practice, I would like just to remind you that today, with this, it's the first of 3 rounds of the Tillotson Tifo Euro Cup, because here we have the first round of 3. The second one, it will be in Ireland, and then the third one in Assen, Netherlands. No, well, in Assen. Well, at least in Assen. I'm sorry. All the information about the trophies and the what you can win with this Euro Cup. Every information is on the Tillotson website, so go check it out. And about this first of 3 rounds, I would like to remind that the number of drivers that are racing here today, it's almost 100, and that's insane. That's insane. That means that Tillotson has a huge appeal. And, I mean, GG. All of these drivers are coming from many different countries, including, of course, Italy, but also United Kingdom, Ireland, Netherlands, Spain, Czechia, Slovakia, Ukraine, Germany, and many more. And we had a lot of drivers separated by their categories. We have senior, we have the master, we have the junior, mini, then the bambino. So it's really nice to see how many drivers are competing for each category. And it's very, very nice to see. Before the start of the next session, we have something to review about the last races that we passed, starting from this one that happened during the few races ago, and then we had a nice overtake for the position during the last battles of the last races. In the meanwhile, T4 Bambino, the freak practice has come to an end. So in a few minutes, we'll start shortly the Heat 2 of the T4 Senior Group B-C. I'll see you in a few minutes. After a short break, we go through the heat number 2 for the Group T4 Senior, Group BC. Now the drivers are heating up the tires and prepare their carts for the start of the race. In the meanwhile, the sun has shown up, heating up the air. As the previous heat, this race will be 10 laps. It's now time for the drivers to align and get ready for the start of this heat number 2. This is another chance to score an important result before the final stages of today. And we go green, let's go! Seems to see a pretty good start from everyone. They're coming now through turn 4, coming up to turn 5 at the Meccanici. They're 3 wide for the lead of the race. Let's see what happens. Down to the chicane of turn 10 and 11. The whole group follows each other through the corners of this truck. Seems like the top 3 has gained some meters of advantage from the rest of the field. Rosser, Vardenberg and Milata. This is the top 3 for the moment. Both in P4. They show in P5, car number 224, then Manfredi, then Contessi, Longo, Wilson, and to complete the top 10, we have Hansen. We saw some problems for Wilson that he ended up at the end of the field. In the meanwhile, we see the battle for the first 4, the top 4, with the overtake for the P3 at turn 5. It's impressive to see the drivers flying on the curb between turn 10 and 11. Seems like they have the confidence to go through as fast as they can through that corner. Rosser still in the lead. Vanderberg in second place. Botti comes up to third. Milata with Kart number 239 in P4. Let's see the battle between P2 and P3 with Botti at the outside, trying to take the position from the driver in second place. He shows up between 10 and 11. The Dutch driver seems to defend the position. It's not over, by the way, because we see during the last sector, Botti has taken the position. We saw some contacts, maybe, in the back of the field. Rosser P1, Botti P2, Vandenberg in P3. The top three is trying to pull away from the P4 that seems like to be in the middle of nowhere because he has advantage from the rest of the field, but is kind of far from the top three. Rosser still in pin 1. We see in the middle of the field a super close battle between 5 or 6 pilots. Let's see Botti in P2, what he can do, because he's catching up to the US driver currently in P1. Kart number 242, Rosser. But there's still Van den Berge in third position, kart number 247. There's some battles in the back of the field. Battle for the 17 and 18 position in the meanwhile. We see an attempt of overtake in 3 wide at the turn 5. In the meanwhile, the top 3 still is pulling away from P4. There's a close battle between Asuncion, Brett, Krapac. And in the meanwhile, the first 11 positions are still the same as the lap before. We see a super close battle. In the meanwhile, we see the overtake and the switchback, maybe. The battle between P4 and P5. Let's see what happens with the driver with kart number 231 taking P4. Hansen goes up to P4. During these final laps, the battle for the first place is still on. Botti tries the maneuver at the inside and he goes through. Botti takes the lead. And we're going to see the last lap of this race. We just wait because it isn't over. He's trying to defend the position. There's attack from Rosser. From the inside, from the outside, they're side by side going through the last lap of this race. Let's see what happens. Rosser takes the lead again. Vandenberg is battling for the P2 with Botti. Let's see what happens until the end of this race, because it's never sure what will happen. Last meters for Rosser to take the win. Botti in second place. Let's see if there was an overtake at the last corner. Checker flag is out. Rosser wins. Botti second. Vandenberg third. Hansen in P4. Milata P5. Then Manfredi, Deco, Sala, Alessio and Longo to complete the top 10. Before the start of the next session, let's see some replays about the races just finished. After this simply lovely race, as we just saw, upcoming next will be still T4 Senior Group AD, heat number 2, upcoming. And we are back for another session, another race. The drivers for the T4 Senior Group AD is preparing the carts to be ready for the start of this race. Just a reminder, still 10 laps for this race. Willeman and Guerreschi will start from the front row. And I'm sure they will bring some show during these 10 laps of total battle. Now the conditions of the track seems to be almost optimal. The weather is still good, so let's see. Looking forward for this race to be as energetic as before. They're coming to the last corner. Then will be green. And it will be the start for this race, for this heat number 2. And we go green, let's go! The first corner of this race seems to be good for everyone. The leader is trying to pull away. And there's some furious battle between P2 and P3. It's some switch of position between the two drivers. And behind them, the rest of the field is trying to be as close as possible to the driver in front. Let's see now the lap timing monitor, what it can tell about this race for this moment. The first 7 drivers are still the same, in the same position as the start of this race. Let's see if there's an attempt of overtake in turn 5. Seems not to be the case at the moment. In the midfield, we see kart number 226 gaining positions just right before turn 10-11. Willeman still in the lead, Guerreschi still second, Zanen P3, Clerc P4. Kart number 223 in P5, 227 in 6. Corberi has lost a position, going to P9. Then Testa to complete the top 10. At the moment, we don't see many battles at the front of the field. But I'm sure during the last laps, they will give everything to gain the position. Zemin, kart 254, has gained a position, climbing up to P6. The The first 5 drivers are still in the same position as the start. We see some battles in P7, P6. In the meanwhile, the leader is trying to pull away, but the second place is still behind the leader. Car number 254 is battling with the rest of the field to maintain the position. Maybe we'll see Wienemann under attack by Guerreschi. Zanen still in P4. Debeu in P4. Clerc in P5. Zemin in P6. Duda P7. Testa P8. Prosek P9. And Corberi to complete the top 10. We saw an incident in turn 5. Still a close battle for the leadership of this race between Wienemann and Guerreschi. Zanen, in the meanwhile, is trying to catching up from the duo, the top two. They are very close to each other with Guerreschi that is taking the lead. Wienemann second, Zanen still third. Let's see if there's the fight back for the English driver with car number 251. And he's trying to keep the pace of Guerreschi. The situation at the moment is stable for the battle for the position number 1 and 2. In the meanwhile, in the middle of the field, we see some switchbacks, some fight backs for the position. 3 wide going the third sector. Guerreschi still in the lead. Wienemann second, Zanen third. Debeus in 4th position, Clerc in 5. Zemin in 6th position, Testa, then Duda, Corberi and Troc to complete the top 10. We are coming through the last laps of this race. This is not the last one, but there are remaining a few laps until the end. There is some battles in the end of the field with Brereton gaining P16. The battle between P1 and P2 is still close and is still on. And we are arriving now at the one that is the last lap. Coming now with Willman taking back the lead. Just right behind, right at the last lap of this race. Let's see if he can hold the position or if Guerreschi is trying to maneuver at the outside. He tried to take the position, but he didn't work though. And now he has to be careful because there's behind him P3 and P4, just right behind him. Williman cannot be safe because Guerreschi is just right behind him. Let's see what happens because it's last meters between the checker flag. And Willman wins! Guerreschi second, Zanen P3. What a fantastic race for these guys. It's now time for the T4 Mini heat number 2. This is another important race for the Mini drivers. With a short race and a small field, every lap matters and every mistake can be costly. Drivers are now aligning to preparing for the start of this race. And we go green, let's go! Seems to be a clean start for everyone in the field. Some braking mistake from a driver in the back of the field that costing the battle with another driver. Let's see what happens with Mara that has the lead of this race. Followed by Harney in second. Novak in P3, Van den Heuvel in P4. I see some problems for kart number 17 that he has to retire from the race. In the meanwhile, the battle for P1 is still on. Mara and Arnie are very close to each other, so I expect some try to overtake, some fight for the position. Mara, Harney, Novak, this is the top 3. Van den Heuvel, P4. Zlochuk, P5. Sviatkov in P6. Brereton in P7. A wider line for Mara. Let Harney catch up the meters between them. So let's see. Because there's also Novak that is super close to the top 2. They are going through the last sector and the positions are still the same. Mara, Harney, Van den Heuvel at the last corner gained the 3rd position. Novak is now in P4. I see a different line between the first two drivers for turn 5. A little bit wider for the Italian driver currently in P1. Let's see if the car number 12 can defend the position from the attack of the car number 11. They're going through the start-finish straight. And still, the position are the same as the lap before. The top 4 is now getting closer to each other. Let's see if maybe the P4 can attack and go maybe straight to P1. Until now, the situation seems like to be kind of frozen between the position between the top 4. Mara still in the lead. Hani second. Van der Heuve third. Novak fourth. Then we have Brereton in P5. Then Zlochuk in P6, car number 14. Seems like P3 has lost some gap, has gained some gap between themselves, and P2 has closed the gap. Seems like until now Mara can handle the pressure from Harnik that tries to overtake at the last corner, and he gets the leadership. Hani, what a timing! I mean, Harnik goes P1, and we are now at the last lap of the race. Let's see if Mara can take back the position. I'm sure car number 12 will push until the end for the victory for this heat number 2. And be careful, because Van der Heuve is just right behind them with Novak that is following. Let's see Mara at the outside, trying now the inside. Let's see if the car number 12 can take the position at the end. Watch out for Van der Heuve at the end. Hane wins. Van den Heuve second. Novak third. And Mara taking the flag at the 7th position. Something happened at the last corner of the last lap. Wow. Hani, Van der Heuve, Novak. This is the top 3 for this heat number 2. May the category will be mini, but the excitement of these races it's huge. So really well done to everybody. The upcoming race will be T4 Junior with 10 laps for this heat number 2. E ora per il pubblico italiano, dopo una bellissima gara del gruppo T4 Mini, ci troviamo ad aspettare adesso per la T4 Junior, gara 2, hit numero 2, sempre 10 giri. La categoria si può definire mini, ma lo spettacolo è grandissimo. We are now ready to assist the upcoming race, that is T4 Junior, heat number 2. The junior drivers have already completed one heat, so now they have more information about the track and the racing conditions. The start will be crucial, but consistency across the race can make the difference. The drivers are now aligning. Let's see what will happen in these 10 laps of race. And we go green, let's go! Until turn 4, the situation seems to be clear. For this moment, we see a battle 3 wide going out. The turn 5, the battle for the first position of this race. Mikos is now leading. Let's see if he can pull away from the rest of the field or will be attacked from P2. Mikos, McLaughlin, Weiler in P3, Jansen P4, Koptiev P5, Van Tarling in P6, then Ward, Mignoranzi, Canet, and then Brereton in P10. The battle for the lead is on. Kart 117 versus Kart 115. They're trying to create a gap between them and P3 Weiler. The first 4 positions are the same as the lap before. Van Tarling climbs up to P5, Ward P6, then Koptiev slips down to P7. Until now, the situation seems to be pretty calm in terms of battles. But I'm sure there will be something exciting during these 6 laps remaining. Because he's trying to hold the position against McLaughlin. The rest of the field, in the meanwhile, seems to be frozen in terms of position. We see a battle from P3 to P7, but the gaps are closed, but not is not possible to overtake in this moment. We see a try to overtake around the outside of turn 5. As I said, there was no chance of battle in the midfield. They started some overtakes. Seems to be a two-driver show, a two-driver battle for the lead of the race, for the win of this race. Mikos versus McLaughlin. In the meanwhile, P3 is followed by P4, 5 and 6, super close one to each other. Weiler keeps the position because Carne tried to overtake in the sector of turn 10 and 11. Mikos and McLaughlin still in P1 and P2. Janssen still in P3. Van Tarling P4. Weiler P5. Carnet P6. Wold P7. Ibrahim P8. Miglioranzi P9. And Koptiev to complete the top 10. But starting from P3 until the top 10, anyone can switch the position. Anyone can climb up or slip down. We see a try from cart number 115 that takes the lead. Mikos is now second. Let's see if the cart number 117 can fight back and take back the P1 that is now from the Irish driver. At the moment, the positions are still the same, with the cart number 115 still in the lead. Second place for Mikos, cart number 117. Janssen in P3, but is followed by a bunch of drivers that are just right behind the Dutch driver. Let's see what happens, because we are now entering the last lap of the race. McLaughlin still in P1. Mikos in P2. Let's see if the battle brings up to a switch of positions. A try to the outside from Mikos that switches the line and try to the outside now from turn 6 to turn 9. Let's see if the Irish driver can defend the position. Last chances for car number 117 to take back the P1 and win this race. Let's see, because there's a try at the outside of the penultimate corner. Switch back of the line. Let's see what will happen at the checkered flag. And McLaughlin wins. Mikos second. Jansen P3. The Irish driver wins the heat number 2. Super nice race for the T4 junior category. And now, after that, we will have the T4 master, the heat number 2, still 10 lap race. I'll see you in a few minutes. E per il pubblico italiano, dopo la bellissima gara del gruppo T4 Junior, ci ritroviamo quindi adesso ad affrontare la gara del T4 Master, sempre 10 giri. Staremo a vedere tra pochissimo, prenderà il via, quindi staremo a vedere. A tra poco. And now it's almost time to see the T4 Master. Heat number 2. Now the drivers are heating up the tires, preparing their karts. Has to be as ready as possible for the start of the race. Remember, 10-lap race. Seems like everything is fine. So the drivers are now aligning for the start of the race. That it will begin shortly. And we go green, let's go! Seems to be a clear start. Let's see in a few corners what will happen. We see a try to overtake at the outside of turn 5 from Baldon fighting for the P1 in the super early stages of this race. In the midfield, we see Ziliani taking positions with car number 328. Alcock, Di Galante, Dizioli, that's the top 3. Then we have Baldon P4, Moi P5, Cappelletti P6, Somoza in P7, Norris in P8, Hornstra in P9, and Pedrana to complete the top 10. There's some fighting arriving at turn 10 and 11 between P3 and P4. Somoza gained the position. Pedrana is now in P10, Norris P9. The battle for position 1 and 2 is still on. In the meanwhile, there's a side-by-side for position 3 and 4. Everyone now is sliding through turn 10 and 11. Alcock still in the lead. But there's Di Galante just right behind him. Baldon P3, Dizioli P4. Ziliani gained the position against Cavalieri that slipped down to P17. In the meanwhile, we see P1 and 2 trying to pull away. Sorry. Some sliding from the leader of the race. The English driver is trying to increase his pace. But this means some sliding through turn 10 and 11. Alcock, Di Galante, Baldon. This is the top three. Then we have Dizioli, Moi, Somoza, Hornstra, Cappelletti, then Prandi and Norris. In the mid, while in the top half of the midfield, we see some fight between car number 312 and 317, but for P7 and P8. Hornstra has lost 2 positions, falling back to P9. And I see a 3 wide going through turn 1, 2, and 3 in the back of the field. While on the top, we see Alcock trying to pull away. But still, Di Galante, Baldon, Dizioli are trying to catch him up. They're coming now on the last corner. Dizioli has gained position. Cappelletti slipped out to P8. Manali gained position. Ida gained position in P13. Mazzoli is now P14. In the meanwhile, we see on the front of the field fight for P5, 6, and 7. In the meanwhile, Alcock is still in the lead with Di Galante following him by 3/10. Moi gained the position and Somoza 2. Dizioli has slipped out into P6. Let's be careful and let's watch out the top 3 that is very close to one another. They're now passing through turn 10 and 11 with some sliding because they are trying to push as hard as possible. And now the thing is interesting because for the victory, for the win of this race is no more a battle about 2 drivers, but it's a group of 6 drivers which can see the overtake at turn 5. And let's see if there was a switchback of the position. It's not over, it's not over. Alcock gained again the leadership of the race. The battle is not over, the fight is not over, but We are going now to the last lap of the race. Alcock, Moi, Dizioli, this is the top three. Di Galante fourth, Prandi, then Somoza. Let's see who can win this race. There's an attempt at the outside contact between two cars. In turn 5. This is the last chance for the drivers to gain position as many position as possible. Whoa! There was an incident between turn 10 and 11 with a spin from a kart, but let's see the finish of this race with Alcock wins heat number 2, Moi second, Prandi third, Di Galante fourth, Somoza P5, Baldon P6, then we have Honstra P7, Pedrana P8, Cappelletti P9 and Dizioli to complete the top 10. What a race with some incidents just in the right finish of the final lap of this race. And next up, we will have the final free practice for the category Tifo Bambino. E per il pubblico italiano, dopo una fantastica gara che ci ha fatto tenere col fiato sospeso fino all'ultimo, adesso abbiamo le prove libere, le ultime prove libere della giornata per il gruppo T4 Bambino. And we are now on the way to see heat number 3 of category T4 Senior AC. Will be as before, as the races before. We have 10 lap race. So we'll see what will happen. Per il pubblico italiano adesso inizierà la terza manche di gare con all'ordine il gruppo T4 Senior, gruppo AC, gara da 10 giri. Siamo pronti a vedere quello che sarà l'azione in pista dei piloti. Quindi aspettiamoci tanto spettacolo, adesso i piloti si stanno preparando a scaldare gomme, pneumatici, freni, pronti per il via. It's almost time to see the drivers take the green flag for the start of the heat number 3. They are now aligning, being ready for the start of the race. Almost time to the start of the race. The drivers are ready. And we go green and let's go! After a clear start, we are seeing the battle from the P1 to the P3. As expected from the start, the drivers are still very close to each other. So let's expect some fightings like the one we saw in turn 10 and 11. Wienemann, Rosser and Zanen, that's the top 3 for now. Let's see if something changes. At the moment they are following each other down to turn 10 and 11 with some sliding from some of the drivers, which means they have gained the confidence to go almost flat out into the first part of the chicane. Rosser has taken the lead, Botti second, Ossewar the third. Zemin P4, Manfredi P5. Wienemann has got some problems. I see on the screen it's P14. In the back of the field we see some battles, some fights for the position. with switchback and changes of lines. Rosser, Botti and Osevade. That's the top three for now. The top four seems to be very close one to each other. And I expect during the race there will be, of course, some fights. Zemin has taken the position, coming up to P3, then Osevade in P4. They're going now to the chicane of turn 10 and 11 with the leader trying to pull away, but the rest of the field, P4, P2, P3 and P4, they are very close to him. So let's see what will happen. The Dutch driver with the car number 240 has done the fastest sector one. Botti and Zemin are now in P1 and P2, Rosser P3. They are very close, so the change of the position, it's in the meanwhile, we see Osevade taking the position. Is now P3. Great move from the Dutch driver. Hansen, in the meanwhile, has taken P4. Botti leader. In second position, we have Zemin. Rosser in P3. Hansen, P4. Osevade in P5. Then we have Manfredi in P6. Seems like Botti has a little advantage from the rest of the field. Let's see if he can take it until the end of this race. The race is almost over, and we can see the fight for the position is not done yet. Botti and Rosser again, one against the other, with Hansen in P3 waiting for the right moment to take his chance. But the moment has to be real soon, because we enter now of the last lap of the race. Hansen, P1. Rosser, then Botti. That's the top three. With fight between P2 and P3. Watch out now for the last corners of the last lap. Because for sure it's not over. They're going now between turn 10 and 11. And now the third sector, the Pettine. Last chances to take the position. We see an overtaker around the outside, trying to fight for the P2. The checker flag is out now. And Hansen wins. Rosser second. Botti third. Then we have Zemin, Ossevarde, Manfredi, and then all the rest of the grid. What a nice race we had. And now it's time for the last race for the category T4 Senior Group BD. Still a 10 laps race upcoming in a few minutes. And we are now ready for the last heat of the day for the T4 Senior. We have now the group BD. The drivers need to stay clean, manage the race, and make the most out of every opportunity. The drivers are now aligning to be prepared for the start of the race. And I remind you, it's a 10-lap race. And we go green, let's go! Superb start for the pole sitter. He has already taken an advantage down in turn 5. The rest of the field is battling for the position. Van den Berge still on the lead with a fantastic start for the Dutch driver. And that it give it the gap to breathe just a little for the start of this race. Guerreschi P2, Milata P3, then Clerc, then Corberi, Contessi, Prosek, Duda and Lanzarotti to complete the top 10. Almost 6/10 of advantage from the Dutch driver, now in P1. The back of the field is full of drivers that are fighting for the position. They are very close one to each other. The top 6 stays the same as the lap before. In the meanwhile, Trock has gained the 10th position. Guerreschi is catching the leader. The gap between him and Van den Berge is now 0.03 of a second. Clerc is now went up to P3. Let's see if the battle for the first place will heat up. The Dutch driver is trying to hold the position, but Guerreschi in P2 seems to be very fast, and I'm sure he wants to go to P1 as soon as possible. 55.7 for Vandenberg, 55.6 for Guerreschi. They created a gap between them of almost a second. Clerc is now in P3 and it's kind of far. From the top two. We see Guerreschi coming out of turn 9 very faster than the leader, and he's trying to make himself some room to try to pass. But until now, Vandenberg is doing a superb job of keeping the line and keeping the speed. Deco is still in P4. And in the meanwhile, we still see the battle for P1 and P2 with the two drivers still in the same position. We see an attempt from Guerreschi to try to pass before the chicane of turn 10 and 11, but it's not enough. Deco, in the meanwhile, gains the third place, 55.3, but the fastest lap of the race until now is from Wilson, Carter number 252, in 10th position, 55.2. The battle at the front, in the meanwhile, stays the same. It's interesting how the lines of the two top drivers that are running now in P1 and P2 is different from turn 6 to turn 9, and that means that Guerreschi can carry more speed at the end of turn 9, but is not enough to brake later than the leader Vandenberg. And which means that the positions they are still the same after 8 laps. In the meanwhile, we see some battle for the third place between Deco, Clerc and Corberi. The battle for the win is still on, with Guerreschi still on the bumper of Vandenberg. There was a contact between the two right now, and Deco could start the last lap of the race in P1, from P3 to P1. Let's see if he can hold the position and take home the victory of this heat number 3. As you can see, Tillotson T4 is far from the obvious. Let's see on this final lap of the race. Deco still in the lead, with Vandenberg in second. Guerreschi has come down to fourth. There's a try from the Italian driver to take the P4 with the battle of P5. Let's see the finish of this race. The side-by-side with the Dutch driver. Vandenberg wins heat number 3 with 48 thousandths of a second of advantage on Deco. Kart number 224 in P2, Clerc completes the podium. 3 Dutch drivers on the podium. Guerreschi P4, Corberi P5. What a race! As you can see, Tillotson T4 races are really, really far from the obvious. Next up will be the heat number 3 for the group T4 Mini. 7 laps of race. We are now ready to see the last heat of the day for the T4 Mini. This is the final T4 Mini heat of the day. Every lap will be important and every position has to be gained on track. Of course. Of course. Now it's time to the drivers to align. The last chance is to heat up the tires. And getting ready for the last 7 laps. Just a few moments and we will be ready to see this final race for the T4 Mini. And we go green, let's go! After a pretty decent start from everyone, let's see what will happen here in turn 5, the drivers going out of the corner, side to side in the battle for position 3 and 4. Hani seems to gain some advantage from Mara in P2. Then we have the rest of the field. Harney, Mara, Van den Heuvel. That's the top 3 for now. We're coming up to the turn 5 braking zone. With the position that are still the same. Seems like, as we've seen before, the top 3 has a little bit of more pace than the rest of the field. Let's see if they can pull away and battle between them 3. There was an attempt of overtake at the last corner, and Van den Heuvel gains the P2. Mara is now P3. We saw the hand gesture of the Dutch driver to the Italian driver to inviting him to catch up the leader, the car number 11, the Irish driver. Seems like Mara at the moment doesn't have the pace to keep up with the top 2. But as we can see, a slightly little error can be crucial, because it seemed like Mara wasn't so close to the top 2, and literally the next corner it was just right behind the top 2. In the meanwhile, Mara has gained the position and is now P2. With Van den Heuvel, which has gained the lead of the race. Harley, in the meanwhile, gained the second position, and Mara is now again P3. Let's see if the Dutch driver can have the pace to pull away. But it seems like the Irish driver with cart number 11 and the Italian driver with cart number 12 are on the same page with him. And we see maybe an attempt of overtake. From the Irish driver against the leader of the race. In the meanwhile, Novak is in P4, Sviatkov in P5. In the meanwhile, we see the top three still really close, one to the other. We see Mara taking the inside and gaining the P2 in this moment. Let's see if there is the fight back from the Irish driver, which is now in P3. We are going now on the last lap of the race with Mara taking the lead, Van der Heuvel second, Harney third. They're going now to the braking zone of turn 5 with the Italian cart number 12 in P1. The Irish guy on cart number 11 in P2. And then the Dutch driver with cart number 16 in P3. Last meters of the top three to achieve the best result possible. Slight contact. I see try to overtake, I try to pass at the last corner. We see Mara wins, Van den Heuvel second, Harney third. This is the top three of the final heat of the day for the Group T4 Mini. What a race for these young drivers. Next up will be T4 Junior, 10 laps, the last heat of the category. E per il pubblico italiano, dopo una fantastica gara che abbiamo appena assistito del gruppo T4 Mini, che ci ha regalato delle bellissime emozioni, abbiamo tra pochissimo il gruppo T4 Junior per la gara da 10 giri, l'ultima gara della categoria T4 Junior. Quindi tra pochissimo ritorneremo in pista. We are now on the way to see the last race of the category T4 Junior. Heat number 3, 10 laps for this final race. Let's see what these drivers can do. The drivers are now aligning for the start of this final race. The drivers need to stay calm, avoid contact, and finish the day with a strong result. Let's see what the result will be. And we go green, let's go! Solid start from everyone. Let's see now at the braking zone of turn 5. Mikos with kart number 117 is now in the lead. The rest of the field seems to be pretty calm during these early stages of the race. Mikos, McLaughlin, and Weiler, this is the top 3 for now. Koptev in P4, Janssen in P5, Van Tarling in P6, then Ward, Carnet, Miglioranzi, e Por to complete the top 10. The top 10 stays the same, with Ibrahim gaining the P12, with O'Keefe slipping down to P13. We see some fighting at the midfield. The battle for P5, P6. Koptev and Carnet are side to side, going through the first 3 corners. In the meanwhile, the top 3 is pulling super away. The situation at the moment is pretty stable, with no particular fighting, but we have to reach the half of the race. So anything can happen again. The top three still the same? No, because there's an attempt to overtake. Done it from the car number 115. The Irish driver gaining the lead of the race. Mikos is now P2. And Weiler is still P3. A brave move at the inside of turn 5 for car number 115. The positions are now still the same from the start of the lap. With McLaughlin still in P1, Mikos in P2, sorry, and Weiler in P3. Janssen is in P4 in the nobody land, as we say in Italian. Seems like the battle for the win of the race is started with a 3-driver battle. Now seems like to be a 2-driver battle with McLaughlin and Mikos. Now in P1 and P2. With Weiler a little bit behind. While in the middle of the field and the back of the field, there are some changes of position. Brereton gains to P11, O'Keefe in P12, Por in P13. Kopchev gains the 8th position, Mignoranzi slips out in P9. We saw an incident in turn 5. With Schiattarella, he went out of turn 5. In the meanwhile, at the top half of the top 10, there is some fights with Van Tarling gaining the position. Carnet 2 gains up to P6 and Ward slips to P7. In the meanwhile, the battle for the win of the race is still between McLaughlin and Mikos. Anything can happen. There are 2 laps remaining. The gap between the two is minimal. In the meanwhile, I see another accident in the turn 10 and 11. But we need to focus on the leadership of the race, because we enter now the last lap of the race. McLaughlin in P1, Mikos in P2, separated by nothing between them. There's a the leader defends the inside. There's a try to go around the outside for Mikos, and be careful because Weiler tries to gain the position. Is not over until the checkered flag. Mikos tries the inside line into turn 10, but it's not enough. He tries the inside line into turn 12, but it's not enough. He tries again because we are on the last corner. Let's see who is going to win the race. And it's McLaughlin. Car number 115 wins. Mikos second, Weiler third. Jansen P4. Canet P5. Wood P6, Van Tarling P7. Miglioranzi P8. Then we have Vanka and Koptiev to complete the top 10. What a nice race we had. And now we have to wait just a few minutes to see the last race of the day. T4 Master, heat number 3. The last 10 laps of the day. Let's see what will happen. E per il pubblico italiano, dopo una bellissima gara del gruppo T4 Junior, arriviamo ad affrontare adesso gli ultimi 10 giri.
Concorrente in conduttore T4 Senior numero 230 Guerreschi Andrea, immediatamente in segreteria dai commissari sportivi, grazie. Attention please, entrance driver number 230 T4 Senior category Guerreschi Andrea, immediately to secretary office by the steward. Thank you.
Gli ultimi 10 giri della giornata saranno per la gara del T4 Master che inizierà tra pochissimo. Quindi aspettiamo di vedere l'ultima azione, che sono sicuro preverrà una battaglia senza esclusione di colpi. And we are now ready to assist the last race of the day. The last 10 laps of the T4 Master, heat number 3. Now the drivers are heating up the tires and prepare the karts in the best way possible. We already seen some problems for kart number 310. Am I seeing right? Alcock has problems. He cannot start the race. No way. The rest of the drivers is now aligning for the start. Let's see if there will be another one or not. We have just to wait a few seconds. And we go green, let's go. Seems like no. Another lap, warming up lap. It's fun because I wasn't sure that we had the start of the race, and it seems like now the drivers have to align again. That's why I was with a little bit of doubt about the start of the race. It's now time to see the start of the race. And we go green, let's go! We've seen a solid start for the whole grid. Baldon is on the lead of the race, followed by Di Galante. Cappelletti takes P2, Di Galante third. Then we have Honstra in P4. Seems like P1 and 2 are trying to pull away from the rest of the field. Seems to see the try to overtake on the last corner for Di Galante, who comes up to P2, Cappelletti P3. In the back of the field, we see some battles for P13, 14, and 15. While on the front, the drivers are trying to insist to overtake, as we see from the battle for P3, 4, 5, and 6. Let's see when the screen updates. Baldon, Di Galante, Honstra, Dizioli P4, Cappelletti P5, Pedrana P6, Prandi in P7, Manali in P8, Somoza in P9, and then Moi. To complete the top 10, we see a double side-by-side in turn 5. Let's see how it evolves, this battle, because this can be a present to Baldon and Di Galante. They are pulling away. From the rest of the field. The top two drivers are now following each other, while behind them there's the furious battle for the position. And from this, take the advantage. The car number 325, Prandi, comes up to P3 after a really furious battle with some contacts after the exit of turn 5. I can see also car number 328, Ziliani, trying to overtake for the P15 battle. He tries to move at the inside and gains the position. In the meanwhile, Baldon and Di Galante are pulling so far away from the rest of the field. A superb pace from the two drivers. Car number 311 and 314. I can only imagine and suppose that the plan for the two drivers is to pull away as far as possible, and then, with a lot of advantage, fight for the victory, fight for the win of this final race of today. Baldon, Di Galante, then Prandi. Then we have Dizioli going sideways on the exit of turn 5. Right behind him, we have... Oh, there was a problem for... No way. For Di Galante. A spin for one of the drivers on the top. Seems like to be mechanical issues. Let's see now when the screen updates. Baldon, the race leader, was. Di Galante takes the lead now. Prandi second. Dizioli third. Honstra 4. Moi P5. Nicosia P6. Pedrana P7. No way. The race leader with mechanical issues is out of the race. But the battle for the position is still on. Through the whole field, we can see some battles, some overtakes, some defenses. Di Galante and Prandi, P1 and 2, Dizioli P3, Moi P4, Honstra P5, Nicosia P6, Somoza P7, then Pedrana, Ida and Cappelletti to complete the top 10. I can hear from my box the tires that are screaming because the drivers are pushing so hard. Watch out now, because the battle for the leadership of this race that equals to the win for this race is up now, because now we have the last lap of the day, the last lap of this race. We saw some contacts in turn 5 on this last lap. The battle is on. We see the overtake and maybe the response of Di Galante. Watch out, because Prandi take the lead on the last lap. Let's see who is gonna win this race. Unable to say it. Di Galante wins. Prandi second, Moi third. This is the podium of the last race. What a finish! Side by side, Di Galante and Prandi. What a show these guys can make. Wow. Wow. I'm amazed. I'm impressed by these almost 100 drivers. What a show. What a show Tillotson can create, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. Per il pubblico italiano abbiamo assistito a una gara stupenda, con un arrivo, l'ennesimo arrivo al photo finish, con Di Galante che ha avuto la meglio su Prandi, dopo un botta e risposta nelle ultime fasi. Veramente qualcosa da cineteca, bellissimo da vedere. Si conclude quindi oggi con la gara del T4 Master, gli ultimi 10 giri, la giornata odierna. Avremo poi domani tutta una serie di gare con le super hit che inizieranno alle 9:40 circa domani mattina. Avremo tutte le super hit fino alle 11:10 più o meno. Però poi avremo tutte le Master Final, T4 Junior Final, Mini Final e T4 Senior Final. Ne avremo delle bellissime da vedere. That race brings Saturday's action here at South Garda Karting in Lonato to an end. We've had qualifying heats, close battles, and changing conditions throughout the whole day. The drivers will now look ahead for tomorrow, where the final results will be decided. Thank you to all the spectators for joining us, and we will see you again tomorrow for more T4 Eurocup action. Grazie mille a tutti gli spettatori presenti qui oggi al tracciato di Lonato. Ci vedremo domani per quelle che sono le ultime gare, le finali delle varie categorie di questa T4 Eurocup targata Tillotson. Buon proseguimento di giornata a tutti.